welcome to Talking Football on 1252 Sports Entertainment. What's up, everybody, and welcome back to Talking Football. This week we have a big week as it's the announcement and winners of the 1252 Sports Entertainment Raffle. A lot of you people bought in. You've sent money to myself. You've sent money to Angelo Ace Camacho. You've sent money to DeMouse Fantasy Football, and we're excited for you guys to win some cool shit here today, and I'm excited to have a great show. Not only that, but we're going to be talking our Week 7 matchups. What a shit week it was for all of us yet again last week, especially myself. I made up no goddamn ground, but we'll get into that here in a minute. But not only that, but we also have John Jurkovich from ESPN 1000, ESPN Chicago coming on here to join us, and it's going to be a great show. We're going to break down Week 8 PICKEMs matchups, but with Jurko, we're going to be breaking down the Bears game and seeing what's in store for our Chicago Bears today. So really quick, let me welcome everybody to Angelo. Angelo, what's going on, my man? How we doing
what's
today?
What's up, guys? Happy Sunday.
Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday.
Happy raffle day.
Happy raffle day. Not only that, but we also have Tyler DeMouse here with us. Tyler, say hey, man.
What's up? What's up? How's it going?
What's going on, man? Week 8. Hopefully I can make up some more ground here. So we're going to talk a little bit. We're going to hop right into it. John Jurkovich from ESPN 1000 is going to come on here with us about 9:30. And I'm excited, man. It's going to be a good show today. So let's get in really quick to the Week 7 debacle that it was. And after that, we'll announce our very first winner of the week. And I'm excited. So Week 7, man, started off. Yes, Giants still suck. Go Eagles. That's good. That was a terrible game to watch. I hated every second of that. The Saints beat the Panthers last week, 27-24. The Jets and Bills, that was a shaky game for the Bills there. The Browns beat the Bengals. In a close game. At one point, the Bengals were up in that game. It's such a crazy game. I loved watching that game. The Washington Redskins messed that up again. Sweet Pete. Every single week. The Washington football team put a beat down on the Dallas Cowboys last week, which was fun because I always like watching the Cowboys get their ass kicked. The Packers beat the Texans 35-20. The Lions beat the Falcons, and that was a crazy game. The Falcons should have won that game too. Steelers in the battle of the undefeateds. The Steelers beat the Titans 27-24. The Bucks really laid it on to the Raiders last week, 45-20. Chiefs. They could have sat their entire starting squad, guys. I think the Chiefs actually really put a beat down on the Broncos, 43-16. Chargers beat the Jaguars 39-29. San Fran beat the Patriots 33-6. The Cardinals in a thrilling Sunday night game, which was I loved watching that game. It was a great game. The Cardinals did end up beating the undefeated Seattle Seahawks that night, which was good. And then the Rams in epic fashion beat the piss out of the Chicago Bears. So that recaps Week 8. And really quick, guy, what happened here? How did we do in the standings last week? How did we do, Angelo?
So our total records now, as they stand, Tyler is still in first place at 57-32-1. I am in second place at 54-35-1. And Mike is pulling up the rear just like he likes it. 49-40-1.
You know it, man. You know it. So, all right. Well, I still suck. I don't know. I suck again. But yeah, I mean, hey, man, those games last week, those were some tough games. I did get the one game right. I knew that Arizona somehow, some way was going to miraculously win that game. And they did, man. That was a great game. Great Sunday night matchup. But unfortunately, the Bears game last week, that really took me out of football for this week a little bit. Like, I'm not as excited as I normally am. Usually we have a lot of food going and stuff this week. I told everybody this week to stay home because I don't want anybody with me. I'm in a funk this week, guys. I'm in a funk. The Bears need
You know what better way to get you out of a funk?
What's that?
Let's pull a winner for the third.
Let's pull a winner. All right, really quick. Let's pull a winner. Here. I got everybody in this can here. Everybody right here. Every single. Oh, as I'm smashing shit on my keyboard. Every single winner here. It's going to be fun. It's going to be a good time. So
all right, so this is for the third place prize, which is the Manscaped Perfect Package 3.0.
Manscaped Perfect Package 3.0. So here we go, guys. I'm going to give it a go here. Let me get everything here. Here you go. You see me getting the bucket here. And spinning it around, and I grab one. Eyes closed. That way everybody knows I'm not cheating. So for the Manscaped 3.0, in the third prize, we have our good buddy that listens every week, Andrew Tarbill.
Nice.
All
right. Nice. That's what's up. I know he was he messaged me. He was like, hopefully I win with some fingers crossed. So it's nice to see
so Tarbill. All right, that's good to know. So Tarbill, we need your info, buddy. I think I still have it from a shirt that you got from us. But send it on over to us again. Hit us up in Messenger. That way we can send it on out to you. I'll purchase it and we'll order it immediately and get it on out to you, man. All right, so there we go. All right, that kind of put my spirits back in a gear, man. I'm happy about that. All right.
And now we can talk about a terrible Bears game last Monday.
Right, we can talk about a terrible Bears game last Monday. So let's get into that, man.
So first off, I want to say this: as Bears fans, man, life is tough. Like we go from having the absolute wind at our back, feeling great, right, at a 5-1 record. Yeah, it's shaky. There's areas to improve. And then all of a sudden, wham, brick wall. The Los Angeles Rams come in and they embarrassed the Bears. And I will say that fully, embarrassed the Chicago Bears.
We talked about it a little bit on the Fat Mike show, man. And I'm not gonna lie, that it really did that loss really took the wind out of my sails here. And now I've been kind of like optimistic, I guess, with the Chicago Bears team thus far throughout the year, and it's not doing anything for me anymore. Like this Bears team, this whole line is piss poor. They really are. They're absolutely terrible on the offensive side of the ball. It doesn't matter who you have on the offensive line or on the offense. Allen Robinson, Nick Foles. It doesn't matter who you have quarterbacking the ball at this point, Nick Foles or Mitchell Trubisky. They can't seem to get anything going, and it's sad. It sucks.
Yeah,
it's tired of watching it. And I'm going to sit here today at 3:20 and watch them come in, watch the Saints come in here. And I'm sitting there this morning. I was like, I'm outside working this morning. I was like, man, it's kind of windy outside. It's going to be hard to throw the ball. If they can't throw the ball, what the fuck are the Bears going to
do? Nothing. What can they do? What do they do when the wind isn't blowing? they do nothing. So what leads us to believe that with bad weather, this team. So it's so hard to like want to enjoy watching this team, right? Because the first few weeks we knew they got lucky with Detroit, they got lucky with Atlanta, but you still felt like, okay, sometimes you need a little luck. Maybe this offense will get clicking. We've heard that for 3 years now from Matt Nagy. Yep. Oh, once the offense gets going, it's going to be great. Once it starts clicking, we just got to get it right. Have we ever seen this offense right since he came in? No. Even in 2018, they were still only ranked the 21st offense in the league. Like, that's nothing to this guy came in as supposed to be this offensive genius, and he hasn't broken the top 20 in offense since he's been the head coach of the Bears. Now, is that his fault or is that personnel?
Right. I think it's a little bit of both, man. Honestly, yeah. Tyler, go ahead. I'll let you take it first. Go ahead.
No, I was just about to say the exact same thing you said. It's a mixture of both. I mean, Matt Nagy can't call plays, but he also has. There's nobody on that offense he can trust outside of Allen Robinson. You can't chuck it up to him 40 times a game.
Well, it seems like that's the only game plan.
You can't trust either quarterback. Neither of them are getting the job done.
What'd you say? I said you broke up there a little bit, Ty. What'd you say? I'm sorry.
You can't trust anybody on that offense. Foles, he drops back. He's pressured before he can even go through his reads. Mitch, when he's in the backfield, he's scrambling, but he's got no accuracy when he's scrambling. He's got nobody to trust on that offense.
Yeah, right. And people were go ahead, Mike. Go ahead. No, you go ahead.
Go.
So like people are complaining. People were complaining about like the bad throws that Foles was making, right? Oh, well, he's just throwing it up to double coverage, triple coverage. It reminded me of Cutler's second or third year with the team where the offensive line was so bad, right? He was the most sacked quarterback his first 3 seasons of any quarterback, right? And eventually it got to a point where he knew he was going to get hit, so he just started throwing the ball. getting rid of it. He didn't care if it was triple coverage, double coverage. As long as the ball was out of his hand, that's all he cared about because they were going backwards. And that's exactly what's happening with this team.
Yeah.
Right. And I pulled up this here from Andrew Tarbill. He says, we scored 3 offensive. By the way, Tarbill, congratulations, man, on the win. Thanks for purchasing into the raffle with us. It was really cool. Everybody, and that's everybody. First and foremost, everybody, thank you for hopping into the raffle and supporting 1252 Sports. You guys are fucking awesome and straight up gangsters. But really quick, he says like this. We score 3 offensive points beyond embarrassing. And he fucking nails it right on the head.
Yep.
Okay. Excuse me. Sorry about that, guys. I am a heavy smoker, so that's why. But here we go with this, man. This is what really pissed me off, right? So going into this game, I heard a stat that the Chicago Bears, 15 out of the last 20 years, are in the bottom half in offensive scoring production and in everything offense. Mm-hmm. They have been 15 out of 20 years that they've been in the bottom half of the league, and that's just downright embarrassing. Okay, Tarbill sums it up the best. It is beyond embarrassing. It's pitiful. Okay, and with everybody sees today's NFL game, you could suck ass on defense and still score points. Mm-hmm. Okay, look at Atlanta for crying out loud. They're 2-6. Okay, they're 2-5 or whatever the fuck they are, and they still score points. A lot of points. Now, granted, they have a lot more offensive weapons than the Chicago Bears do, but when the Detroit Lions are outscoring you, who literally have Kenny Golladay. That's pretty much it. And Matt Stafford. That's pretty much it. They got a running back by committee up there. I mean, teams all around the league. Look at San Fran. They're doing it with fucking nobodies that are completely banged up and still scoring 30 points a game.
Yep.
This is fucking sad. Okay. Now, whether it be offensive line, which, I mean, guys, I'm going to bring it up to Yurko too, because he knows, everybody knows. I mean, months ago during this past year's draft, I wanted 2 big corn-fed fat guys for the offensive line. That's what I wanted. I didn't care where you grabbed them, out of what college. Get 2 6'6", 375-pound fucking dudes on your offensive line, because otherwise you're not helping yourself.
Right.
Okay, plain and simple. That O-line is atrocious. Okay, and then not only that, but everybody knows what the fuck you're doing with all these cute plays, Mr. Nagy. Stop giving the ball to Cordero. There we go. We figured that out last week. We gave the ball. Everybody knows. The regular fucking Tom, Dick, and Harry that's a football fan knows when that dude is out on the field, the ball is going to him. You're not surprising any fucking NFL head coach or any NFL defense when he's out on the field. They know where the ball's going. All right, yeah, you're using the guy as a straight up gimmick. Get the fuck out of this.
And so that's the problem, right? I've given Matt Nagy a pass for the last 2 years because I thought Trubisky's terrible. Okay, he's not terrible, but he's just not consistent enough to be that guy for your franchise, right? He has flashes of greatness almost, right? Like in the playoff game in 2018, that last drive led the Bears down. That wasn't his fault that they lost the game there, but there have been times where he's just looked completely lost. It doesn't matter what, there's times where he would get the play from Matt Nagy and just look like, what am I supposed to do? Now, back to my thing. I gave Nagy a pass for the last 2 years, right? I'm starting to see, especially now that Foles is in there, because that's the guy that he wanted to bring in to run his system if Mitch couldn't do it, right? Mm-hmm. And during the Atlanta game, it looked good. But it seems to me like he's trying to get too much in this offense, if that makes sense. Like everybody just looks confused all the time. There's delay of games. There's 12 men on the field. There's people not lined up where they're supposed to be. And that's on the head coach. It's his fault. Like
you can't get cute when your offense isn't rolling. Right. You're not moving the ball, and you're running fucking jet sweeps and stuff like that with Cordell Patterson. Of course they're not going to work, man. The defense sees Cordell Patterson on the field, and 9 times out of 10, when he's on the field, he's getting the ball. So the defenses are just keying in on that. You're getting too cute, and you can't move the ball with your normal offense.
Right. And with this old line, man, you can't get anything going. You can't establish a run, so you're play action shit. Okay. And if everybody knows that you can't establish a run game, you only have one other option to move the football, and that's by passing the ball. So you don't even have to sit. I mean, if you sit there, whether you're in man, whether you're in zone, whether you're in a hybrid D, you know what's going to happen with the ball. That's all you got to do is just play close to the guy you're supposed to be covering. And it's sad, man. I'm just sick of the mediocrity with this team, because now, again, like I said at the beginning of the year, this team is good enough. Excuse me, man, I got coffee belly and coffee burps. I'm like one of them weird slushy machines that you see that's been plugged in for like 90 days. That's what I feel like right now. I feel like my insides are turning. But it's just one of those things. Tyler left. He's upset. But it's one of those things, man. I'm just tired of the mediocrity as a Bears fan. I really, truly am. And anybody who's not is living in a fucking fairyland.
Yeah.
They're living in a daydream where if you think that this team's going to win the Super Bowl, you are absolutely batshit fucking crazy. Plain and simple, because this team is going to be lucky if they make the playoffs. All right. And that's legit, man. Okay.
I almost
now, granted,
hope that
the
they
defense is good enough to win some more. Well, right. But at the same time, what does that do? It doesn't do anything for you. It's going to give you a little bit less of a pick in the draft. All right. That little bit less of a pick in the draft isn't helping you either.
Right. But if they don't make the playoffs, right, it would be considered what? A failure, right? To start 5-1 in a season where they add a team to the playoffs and then you miss the playoffs. That to me is, I love the Bears. I never want them to lose, right? And I'll never pick against them. But every time this team struggles, like they lost this last week, right? If they go out and win this week, that's just going to Nagy, it's going to cover up all the blemishes. He's going to be like, well, look, we're 6-2 now, and that's not what we need to happen. We need we almost need this team to just collapse so that they can really see like, hey, this shit isn't working, because I'm tired of watching games like this. I watched games like the Packers or Seattle and Arizona last weekend.
It was ecstatic.
Right? A fun game to watch. Great game. You watch the Bears on Monday night, and it's like watching a snail.
It's fucking cardiac.
It's terrible.
It really is. You watch the Bears. I mean, I don't know how many times during a Bears game I say I'm done with this fucking team. End quote. Like legit. I mean, I'm done with this fucking team. This team sucks. Like I say that probably 15 fucking times a game.
Yep.
Literally. I'm not even joking. I watch a series of downs. I watch Nick Foles fuck up. I watch the old line fuck up. Or I watch the defense give up, who's playing their balls off at the time. Yep. All right. They'll be playing their ass off. They give up one play. I'm like, son of a bitch. Like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? It's a snowball effect. It's shit rolls downhill effect on me with this Bears team right now. That's how I feel about it.
And we put a lot of pressure on this defense, because as Bears fans, we've learned that without a defense, this team goes nowhere. And it shows. If I was a defensive player for this team, why would you want to go out there and try? I mean, I get it for pride purposes, right? No player's going to go out there and just shit the bed on purpose. But like, there comes a certain point in time in a game, and you see it every week, where this defense comes out, they make a big stop, right? Whether it's a 3rd down, 3rd and 1, and they stop them, punt the ball, and then your offense can't get past the 50-yard line. Then you get the ball back, and they have great field position, and then you're backed up again. It stacks and stacks and stacks, and eventually it's going to break. And that's what we've seen on Monday night.
Right. No, I mean, the Monday night was absolutely pathetic. Now, that being said, the Rams are a very good team. All right. They are not a joke around team, but it almost seemed like I said this on Wednesday night too. Sean McVay was playing chess while Pagano and Nagy were playing checkers. Plain and simple. He legitimately just outplayed him. In every facet of the game. Every facet, defense, offense, and especially special teams. Okay, I mean, that Hecker kid had 5 punts, all within the 10. Are you shitting me? All right, I mean, that's all around good football, and that's how a fucking football team should look. Okay, when you go up against a hard defense, a tough defense like the Chicago Bears, and then you go out there and you still put up 24 points, you did your job.
Right. You
really did. You really did your job, and that's the big thing. And that's what Sean McVay did. He went out there and did his job.
Yep.
He coached the game the right way, completely took the defense and wore the defense out from what I seen within the first 3 drives of the game, offensive drives for the Rams for the game.
Yeah, and
that defense was gassed.
You can and that's if I was Matt Nagy, I would be embarrassed. Every time this team plays a good head coach, he gets made to look like a fool, right? Like obviously they beat Tampa. I think Bruce Arians is a good coach. I think Tampa's
great coach.
I think Tampa's a little sloppy. I think they have a lot of penalties, but I think that's just his style. They're rough, they're fast. So like that game I kind of understand, but like when he goes up against, and I'll say it, Matt LaFleur in Green Bay, that guy, for his offense looks fantastic. I get it. He's got Aaron Rodgers, right? But they go out there and they play fast. That's why I think the Bears do so well in the 2-minute offense, because there's no time for Matt Nagy to look at that big ass menu of plays that he has and be like, no, we're going to run this one right now or this one. He doesn't set plays up, right? Like, I've never played football, but I love football. It's my favorite sport to watch. You have to do certain things to set up plays later in a game, right? He doesn't do that. He's so sporadic with what he's calling at what time that his own team can't get into a rhythm.
Right.
It's just so frustrating, man.
No, I mean, I agree, man. I 100% agree that this team, and the reason for that being is because the offensive line is so terrible. And I will forever say this, and it doesn't matter how good you think you are. You can put any quarterback back here behind this O-line, and it would look almost identical, guys. It doesn't matter. That's how terrible that offensive line is. It doesn't matter if you had Patrick Mahomes. It wouldn't matter if you had Deshaun Watson or Tom Brady or Big Ben or Aaron Rodgers. It don't matter. This offensive line is fucking garbage.
It is.
From right tackle to left tackle, right guard, left guard, and your center is trash.
And that's something I want to ask Jurko. Like, how come this team hasn't brought in people to try out throughout the weeks, right? Mm-hmm. Like when there was a kicker problem, they fucking had kickers all over the place. You trip over a kicker walking through Hallis Hall, right? They're sleeping on the floor. Why not bring in 5 guys and just see how they mesh together? Because your offensive line isn't doing anything, period.
Bring in 5 new guys. They like the guys in their room.
Yeah, shut up, guys in the room. Sorry, man. I've managed people before. Mike, we talked about this on the Fat Mike show. I've managed people, right? And yes, I've managed people. I've tried to have like a family atmosphere whenever I was in charge. Make my people feel important, respect my people. But if they're not doing what they need to do, which is their job, you give them some warnings, right? But if it continues and then it's dragging your company down, your team down, you have to let them go, or you will go nowhere.
It might bring some motivation if they bring some guys in to work out. Like, hey, it might make them step up. Like, hey, we have some.
Well, I mean, that kind of backfired and bit us in the ass, though, too, Ty. Now I know that you're a Packer fan, but you listen to Chicago radio all the time. Yeah. But that's what fucking Nick Foles was supposed to do for Mitch Trubisky, and it bit us in the ass because exactly like I was saying. Everything starts up front. I knew the average Joe. Now I like to think that I know a lot about football. I played football in high school. I played football. I mean, throughout growing up into high school, into college. Okay, I played football. I like to think that I know quite a bit about football. Okay, but when it boils down to it, everything starts up front. Plain and simple. You can't move the fucking ball. Now I knew going in, looking at last season, looking at the team that went 8-8 last year, that their offensive line woes were going to carry over. Okay, you go out and draft 2 guys at the end of the draft this year in Dieter Eilson and the other dude. All right, they're not going to play. All right, they're not going to play. The one dude, he's from South Africa, big dude, played at where the hell did he play? I want to say it was not Penn State. I forget where the fuck he played. Dieter, I forget where he played. But it's what? Why waste those picks when you can find a diamond in the rough down there? You're not going to find a useful offensive lineman down there that low in the draft. You're not going to find an undrafted. It's very hard to. I'm not going to say that you won't find it, but it's very hard to find a guy that you can plug and play right into your offensive line immediately towards the end of drafts and stuff like that. You got to spend those early picks on it, man. You could have had right now, like I was bitching and moaning about. You could have had Lloyd Cushenberry, and you could have had that dude out of Ezra Cleveland up there in Minnesota, who they're just kind of letting him just hang out and do his own thing. All right, he was their second overall, the second pick in the draft. They're letting him get groomed up there. He's playing behind a Pro Bowl tackle, guys. That's why he's not starting yet. All right, he's taking reps behind a Pro Bowl tackle. You could have had both of those guys, and you could have started plug and played him immediately on your fucking team right this year with Ezra Cleveland and Lloyd Cushenberry, and your line would be amazing because of it. It would be that much better.
Right, but like also like that Quentin Spain was on free agency forever for 3 weeks, and the Bears didn't even so much as bring him in to try him out. Like you know your offensive line is struggling at this point. I don't care if it was you, Mike. They're like, hey, come in here and see what you got. What's the worst that happened? You don't have to sign the guy if you don't like what you see.
Right.
But bring him in. Or like discuss with a team that's trash, like the Falcons, with maybe giving up a late, 4th or 5th round pick for somebody that's above average on their offensive line.
Right.
Because right there, that's 2 guys. You solved with a 4th round pick and a free agent signing. Boom. You put them on the line, your line's automatically better because who you have is garbage.
Right. Yeah, it doesn't look good, man. It doesn't look good at all for the Chicago Bears and that offensive line. It's rough, man. It's real rough. So before we get to it, man, we're going to bring Jurko on to talk a little bit about Bears. I know we're kind of doing everything a little half-assed differently this week, and we are going to get Jurko on. I'm going to text him here in just a minute to get his ass ready. You guys want to draft another name before we bring Jurko on?
Yeah, sure. Let's do
We'll draft another name now, bring Jurko on, bullshit with him a little bit, and then we'll announce
our pickems.
Do our pick'ems and announce the first place winner at the end of the show. You guys cool with that?
Yep, I'm good with that.
All right, let's do it. I'm going to do it right now. Here we go, guys. Here it is. The
second place, right?
Fanatics
Second place. This is the Fanatics gift card.
For the $100 gift card to Fanatics. Here we go. All right, shaking them around. Shake, shake. Shake a good name. Get a good name. I hope somebody that we know that actually listens to the show all the time.
I hope it's not Tarbill again.
I know, that would suck. All right, here we go. I got the name. Here we go. Put the bucket down here. All right, here we go. The name this time is Mark Justice. Mark, congratulations, man. Good job. You win the $100 gift card to Fanatics. He did. I know who he is. He sent it through me. I got all of his info too in case he wins. He works Sunday. He listens to us every single Sunday afternoon when he gets home from work.
Nice.
So, Mark, congratulations, man. You're the $100 gift card winner to the Fanatics. It's good stuff, man.
Congratulations, Mark.
All right, so we got 2 awesome listeners that listen all the time coming in here and winning some cool shit. So that's cool.
Right. Yeah,
that's awesome.
Man. This is
I'm gonna hit up the Yurkinator right now. So be like, hey man, you ready? Click that link, boss man.
Click the link. Subscribe. Hey, speaking of,
if
you're watching us,
guys, if you guys
click
are
the
watching,
link,
subscribe.
Turn that up.
Subscribe. Questions for Jurko, send those on over too.
Yeah, thumbs up, man. We also got the store that's going right now. I'll put a link out for that on my Facebook page after the show and on my Twitter and all that stuff. Mike, you can do the same. Tyler, do the same, and then we can, if you want to get some cool hats or. They got the Fat Jordan shirt. I definitely want one of those. Get that the mouse fantasy shirt.
Yeah, wait until that comes out, guys. That's going to be awesome. I'm not I'll get it, but I'm not getting it in green. Sorry, Ty, I'm not getting it in green, bro. I'll get it in that blue and orange. Or I might just get it in this actual black T-shirt. But we're just waiting for Jurko here. So I mean, guys. I don't know, man. I don't even know what to ask Jurko at this point. I don't even know what to ask him. It's going to be.
I mean, what I would ask is I would start with the offensive line. The guy knows lines, and I think who better to tell you how to fix a line than him? My thing is, what can the Bears do now to at least improve a little bit? I like the fact that they have this kid from the backup center playing now. I like that. I think Cody Whitehair should be moved to like a tackle or a guard position.
All right, here we go. Our guy from ESPN Chicago 1000, John Jurkovich, joining us. Johnny,
can you guys hear me?
What's going on, brother? We hear you perfectly. Look at
rough morning, fellas. Rough morning, but we're finding a way to survive.
Look at that handsome mug. John Jurkovich, everybody. ESPN Chicago 1000, ESPN 1000. Thanks for joining us, my man. We got some tough Bears stuff coming at you real quick.
You said Cody Whitehair out to tackle. Cody Whitehair can't play tackle.
I meant guard. I meant move him.
Furthest he's going out as guard, though. He's played guard before, so he can play guard. That's fine.
So, Jurko, what do you think the Bears, like at this exact moment, can really do to improve this line, or at least help take some pressure off of Nick Foles, because he's just getting abused back there?
Well, then the only thing you can do is half rolls. You can do so. They can't run the ball for some reason or another. I don't know why they can't run. You play against the defense, like with Aaron Donald on it. And usually anytime you got an aggressive defensive tackle that likes to penetrate, you'd run a little bit of a trap game at him inside. You'd put a wham play in there where you're taking a tight end on a 4-man side or a fullback, and they don't run a fullback, so it's hard for them to run use a fullback. But you run a tight end in on a 4-man side, like a too tight situation, and then you come and you wham them either from the outside or from the inside to try to slow them down. Screens, they're a terrible screen team. So how do the Bears run a screen? They stink at it. Yeah. Or draws. That's the way. Like out of a shotgun, you run a little draw, try to get some yardage. It worked early in the season, but since Tariq Cohen's gone down, it doesn't look like they want to run any type of draw situation. So, it's rough. It's rough. And the guy calling the play, sometimes I don't know how much confidence he has in what the hell he's doing. Sometimes, I think he looks at that play sheet and B, whatever. But I don't want to say BU. I want to say be Eric Bieniemy or be Andy Reid or be Doug Peterson or be anybody.
Be someone else.
Yeah.
Right.
It's difficult. Listen, this team's going to have to win defensively. They're going to have to put their offense in good field goal position. Good field position for a chance to score some easy touchdowns. Today's game in the wind, to me, if this isn't an automatic lock, an automatic under, it's a lock of the day. This thing's going to be an under. You ain't going to be able to kick field goals in this. You're not going to be able to throw in it. You're going to have to run. The defenses are going to rise. This feels like a crappy 9-6 game. That's what this feels like to me today. Yeah. And can the Bears win a 9-6 game? That's the exact kind of crap they can do. They can win a crappy game like this in this weather, and we'll all look back on it on Monday and go, oh, well, it was because it was rain. It was 40-mile-an-hour winds, and it was inclement, and it really wasn't fair. But guess what? Life's not fair, and you find ways to win games like this. So I hope the Bears go out, win today in the crappiest, ugliest 9-6 fashion they can find.
Now, Jurk, really quick, you do this every single day. You interview guys, you talk on the radio every single day over at ESPN. Now, I hear it. I listen to you guys day in every day of the week, okay? I'm so tired of these meathead, meatball, just complete dipshit Bears fans. I think this team is a Super Bowl-bound team. How do the Bears even right this ship? Do you think that this Bears team is a legitimate contender for the playoffs this year with the additional playoff seed?
All right. Well, listen, with 14 out of 32 teams making the playoffs, I do think the Bears can get to the playoffs and are a playoff team. Being a Super Bowl team, there's only a handful of Super Bowl teams out there, and most of them reside in the AFC. Even Seattle showed its warts against Arizona last week. So, a lot of teams have warts. In the NFC, nobody is a perfect team. Everybody's got problems. Green Bay's got problems defensively. Seattle's got problems defensively. Big time. But they both got legitimate quarterbacks. The Bears are great defensively, but they got one quarterback, Mitch, that just simply can't read the defenses in a timely fashion for him to be effective. You got another one in Nick Foles, who's only marginally better because of his familiarity with whatever Matt Nagy doesn't know what to do, and that's how I like to put it. Marginally better, but he doesn't have the mobility that Mitch Trubisky. Listen, if Mitch Trubisky was in there, your running game would be a little bit better because he'd be gaining 35 yards a game. And because he can run, maybe it makes him a little bit hesitant. In theory, when they put Nick Foles in there, it was for the simple reason of he's familiar with the offense and he's going to be able to run this offense better. Both quarterbacks have been hindered with a horrendous offensive line. This one that currently Nick Foles has with the injuries up front, it's kind of catastrophic. And Charles Leno, I've never been a fan of. I don't know what PFF does, Pro Football Focus. I don't know what the hell they do. They came out and they said he was a pretty good offensive tackle. I'm like, That's when I knew that crap that Collinsworth is running over there is absolute garbage. Garbage. I don't know what kind of sham he's got going on there and who he's convinced that they should go ahead and pay him and his company for that, but it's ridiculous.
Angela, you got anything?
So I was just thinking, this team, if they miss the playoffs, which they shouldn't at this point because that extra team gets in this year, but and I never want the Bears to lose. I'll pick them against anybody all the time. That's just me being the Bears fan that I am.
Meathead.
But would it be right? I'm a meathead fan at times.
I think the Bears are going to win today.
I do too. But like, is that the best thing right now? Because every time they go out and they have a stink game, then they go and win, and then Matt Nagy acts like, oh well, nothing happened. All those flaws were what they were.
You're not bad enough to where you're going to get a high enough pick to make a difference in whatever your quarterback's going to be.
Right.
So even if you finish 5-11, you're not going to be bad enough. So, and this defense isn't going to allow you to be bad enough. This defense by itself is going to be able to, if you look at the schedule, the defense by itself will win 3 of these games.
Right.
Okay? So, at the very worst, you're going to be 8-8 this year. I think they go 10-6, and I think they qualify for the playoffs. Now, once you get there, can you catch lightning in a bottle? When Nick Foles beat the Chicago Bears when he was with the Philadelphia Eagles, he didn't put up 75 points.
Right.
Put up 16 points to win that game. Maybe 17. Yeah. You're not asking a quarterback a ton of stuff. You're not asking for a world-beating Dan Marino-like performance to put 17 points on the board. So that's what happens in the playoffs. You get in there, the crazy things happen, the defense scores. You fight back and forth. You're going to get the ball in the fourth quarter, and you got to try to find a way to put a drive together. Right. That's the way you win playoff games. So could they win playoff games? Yes. Can they beat Seattle? I don't know. You got to be able to score against Seattle.
Right.
And if the Bears can't score, what the hell difference is going to make? So, but you can't approach life that way. These guys got how many more games left? They're 5-2. They got 9 more games left. I can't approach it knowing that ultimately they're going to find a way to lose in the playoffs. I've got to enjoy every single week for what it is and see if I can't find some joy out of this Bears offense, this crappy Bears offense that for one reason or another wants to play number 86, Harris. I don't know why they want to play.
Okay, now you're saying that you think they're a 10-6 team. If this Bears team misses the playoffs, Yerk, okay, if they miss the playoffs, what happens with this team? Is Pace gone? Is Nagy gone? Do you think any of that happens, or you think everything stays put?
Everything stays put.
Why?
And this is why. It's COVID. It's a COVID year. COVID. It's a freaky year. No fans. COVID. We're not doing anything crazy. COVID. You've seen the lunacy already in the NFL with the Bill O'Brien firing and the other guy that got fired. You've already seen 2 firings this year in the first month and a half of the season. So I think the lunacy is over for the better part of this year. And if there's moves to be made, they'll be made at the end of the year. New York Jets guy, Adam Gase, is going to get fired.
I heard I think you're a big fan of him. No? You don't want him to be the next Bears head coach?
No, I don't want him to be the next Bears head coach. And, who is the Bears' next head coach once they do decide? Why not go down to Pittsburgh or New Orleans and find yourself a program that's had a ton of continuity, guys that have been there for a long period of time. And I know we had Ryan Pace and we got him for New Orleans. I know, but I don't even like thinking about it sometimes about the people they get and what they do.
And I know that we complain a lot.
Go ahead, Angela.
We complain as Bears fans a lot that it's above that GM mark that's causing a lot of these problems, but that's never going to change.
Right.
What they have to figure out a way how to bring somebody in who can, nudge the ownership in the right direction, because it's been missed for at least the last 2 GMs you would think have been average at best. Right, with Emery and now Ryan Pace.
The best thing you could say about Ryan Pace is he has somewhere deep in the draft in the second, third, fourth rounds. You find Eddie Jackson there. I think they found a couple other guys in the 4th round. His second round has been woeful. His first round is just catastrophic.
Yep.
Right.
So, but
that's exactly
the McClaskeys aren't going anywhere, and I will mispronounce their name because they deserve to have it mispronounced. McClaskeys aren't going anywhere. Sweaty Teddy Phillips ain't going anywhere either. Yeah. So You know, as long as those two guys are there and there's, no McCaskies are going anywhere. So that's what you have.
Right.
That's it. And do I want them to sell? I begged them to sell the team 4 years ago. They're not selling the team. It's a cash cow.
Right.
And they've got too many of the McClaskeys sitting there feeding off the Chicago Bears, money-wise. So they ain't going anywhere. They're going to be here. The best case scenario is you get a general manager that comes in here and is a talented. Well, you got to hire people. Your college scout, your pro scout. You got to put both of those guys in place, and then you got to have a guy that can actually pick people. And some guys pick certain positions better than others. And if you know that's a strength of yours, then that's what you do. You kind of concentrate in that area, and you hire other people that are good at other areas. Like Ron Wolf was great at finding quarterbacks. He was fantastic at it. He goes in, he gets Favre, he gets Detmer, he gets Brunell, Matt Hasselbeck, he gets Aaron Brooks. He drafts all these guys, one after the other, after the other, after the other. It's like it doesn't make a difference. All the guy did was he identified quarterbacks, and he brought them in. Now, he brought some quarterbacks in that stunk. He brought Jay Barker in from Alabama. Jay Barker was horrific. He came in there. He was like a church mouse. He didn't talk. He didn't do anything. We had Kurt Warner in there on a flyer in '95 after he left Northern Iowa. Either '94 or '95, we had him in there. He comes in. He didn't want to take a snap. Mariucci goes, "Hey, it's your turn. Get in there." And he's like, "Oh, no, I'm not ready yet." And then 4 years later, he leaves us, goes in barnstorms and he's bagging groceries. Then 4 years later, all of a sudden he gets an opportunity because somebody gets hurt. Trent Green gets hurt in St. Louis, and now he's a superstar, the greatest show on turf, and everything's fantastic. But he identified him as a kid with talent. So he knows quarterbacks, right? Matt Nagy, God, what does he know? Maybe safeties? Maybe Matt Nagy's been able to identify safeties and bring them in and say, hey, take a look. I know what a safety looks like. He's awful at wide receivers. He's terrible. Can't pick a wide receiver for the life of him.
He knows Cordero Patterson's number pretty well.
Well, he's a running back. Cordell's a running back now.
What the hell is he? Yeah, they still need another. Why isn't they just signed a guy? Why isn't he here yet? Is he still on the practice squad? Who'd they sign?
Lamar Miller? Is it Lamar Miller?
Yeah.
Trying to get him in shape, maybe. I don't know. Well, you only hand the ball off 10 times a game anyway, so what's the difference? How tired is he going to be?
Right.
But I don't listen. I watch the Bears for their defense.
Yeah.
I watch the Bears because watching Khalil Mack, watching Hicks play. I'm hoping to get a little bit more out of Quinn.
Yeah, is he only playing third downs? Was that his MO right now? He's only playing third downs. What's going on?
I think he's a pass rush specialist at this point. But I don't know if they paid, $10 million just to have a guy to come in just on third down. So really, anytime they're in three wides, one back, one tight end, they go into a nickel package. I think he's on the field for that. And most of the time, that turns out to be about 60% of the time or 64% of the time. So he's on the field 6.5 of every 10 plays. It's not too bad, But he's got to affect the pass, and sometimes he does. He killed me last week. I was sitting on 4-3 in a pool.
Yeah.
I was about to win 6,000 units.
Ooh.
Oh.
And it's third down, right? And they run that little reverse play. I'm all right. Okay, it's going to get tackled and stopped, and the ball hits the carpet. And I'm like, no. No. And then Eddie Jackson scoops it up, and I'm like, no. And he runs for the end zone. I'm like, no.
No.
I'm like, fumble. Anything, kick it through the end zone. He scores. And I knew nobody was going to score after that field goal got blocked. I said, nobody's going to score the rest of this game. I'm going to win. And that touchdown got returned, and I was like, mother blanker.
You can say it.
I'm not going to say it, though. Not going to say it. And Parkey, 2 years ago, same pool, 10 grand units, 10,000 units. All Parkey's got to do is kick the field goal to up through 31-28 and win the game. 31-28, win the game. And he missed the field goal.
He couldn't hit water if he fell out of a boat, though.
If you're counting, that's 16,000 units in 3 years now that I've been victimized because of the Chicago Bears. And if that's not a legitimate reason to be mad at a
It's
team.
a hate crime. It's starting to become a hate crime.
And then the jackass Parkey. What's Parkey do last week?
Nailed
Misses
it.
an extra point. And I
Oh, he
had
missed
it
it.
3.5. Extra point. End of the game.
Did you see
nothing, right?
Did you see the quadruple doink in college football last year?
I saw that one, yeah.
Oh,
that
my
was
goodness.
Rice University.
Unbelievable.
Upright crossbar.
Unreal. Can you imagine if that was Cody Parkey in that Philadelphia game?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. I could imagine it. Yeah.
Well,
you'd never think you'd see it again, and then there it was. Somebody got a quadruple joink, so it's not as rare as they would think.
It could be worse. You think your Monday is bad if you're a Bears fan, and after that Sunday playoff game against Philadelphia. I mean, well, that's a playoff game. It's still a whole hell of a lot worse. Mm-hmm. Our buddy Andrew Tarbill from the chat, Yurko, wants to know, should the Bears use Riley Ridley a little bit more or at all?
You earn your chance to get on the field. And whatever Riley Ridley's doing, he hasn't shown enough in practice for him to get himself on the field. I wish Javon Wims was better.
Yeah.
He's a big guy. He's a tall guy. He's a raging guy. He's got a catch radius that's all over the place. But for one reason or another, I thought with Foles at quarterback, if Wims was a player, that it would come to the forefront. Now, it has not come to the forefront, which leads me to believe that he's just going to be an average receiver. He's going to be a fourth guy that comes in 4-wide situations, 2nd and 12, 3rd and 13, that kind of crap.
Out of this point, I got one more real quick.
No problem, Mike.
For you, John. Not Riley Ridley. The Darnell Mooney kid. He's kind of emerging to be a target. They're giving the guy some targets. He's averaging about 5, 6, 7 targets a week.
Right.
Do you think he's legitimate to where he can actually make an impact as a number 2, a second offensive option on this team? Because right now you only got one in Allen Robinson.
I give usually receivers, 3 years, especially those that weren't taken in the first round.
Okay.
And then sometimes that third year is the year they pop. But if you haven't had an answer by the third year, you got a bust. Or a guy that's not going to be able to play in the NFL. So you go cheaper and you go younger. So he looks like he might be a player. He can go up and get the ball. He can stop and come back on a ball that's thrown on the back shoulder. But that question is going to be asked every week. And that kid's got to answer the question every single week. So if he can continue to develop and answer all the questions, then you might have something with him. But, everybody's a skeptic. And it's always good to be a skeptic on a lot of these young guys until they prove they're studs.
Right. And so, as Matt Nagy we talk about how he's a good coach, right? But he can't call offense. But I haven't really seen the development of a lot of these guys that you're kind of hoping for, like Anthony Miller. He had a good rookie year, but now he's kind of lost in the shuffle with all these wide receivers. He's that
pooped on?
Right. Is that a mark against Matt Nagy because he can't develop his team properly?
Well, yeah, sure. And then you go and you take a look at, a change of address sometimes is the best thing for a player. He learns, he gets this, he gets that. He had his chances and his shots and he couldn't capitalize. Now he changes an address. They get a fresh look at him. It's like, somebody's garbage is another man's treasure. Well, Hronis Grasu was terrible.
Yep.
We watched him. I gave him the nickname Horrendous. Horrendous Grasu. He was terrible. Now he's starting for San Francisco, and San Francisco's got a great running game. If you take him and surround him with studs, both left and right, well, maybe he could find a way to survive in there, but you're always going to be looking to improve upon him. You know what I'm saying? Or the kid that went someplace else, Mike Davis. Couldn't crack the starting lineup for the Bears, but all of a sudden down there, he looks like he's going to take Christian McCaffrey's place. Ooh,
Right. Yeah.
And that's not going to happen anyway. But running backs are a dime a dozen unless you're truly special.
Right.
You put a running back behind a great offensive line, you're going to have yourself a running back that looks like he's great. But every guy I've ever seen back there is dependent upon the offensive line to block. So don't fall in love with running backs, period. Mike Davis, Tariq Cohen, Montgomery, Matt Forte, all of them, a dime a dozen. The only guy that I've seen in my lifetime that was not a dime a dozen guy was Barry Sanders. Barry Sanders would break more ankles than anybody. He could, when it all broke down, found a way to escape and get positive yardage. That's the difference maker. That's the guy that can make a difference for you. There was one of them, only one that I've ever seen. I didn't see Jim Brown play. I didn't see Gale Sayers play. But in my lifetime, since I could remember watching football with Bobby Douglas at quarterback, since 1975, I've seen one guy that was a difference maker at the running back position. His name was Barry Sanders. It wasn't Emmitt Smith. It wasn't Terrell Davis. It wasn't Jamie Lewis. It wasn't Priest Holmes. It's none of them guys.
What about
one
Peyton?
guy?
What about Walter Payton?
Sweet. I love Sweetness, kid. I loved him. Day he died, me and my brother cried. Okay.
You think Barry Sanders was a better
Barry Sanders was a better running back than Walter Payton. Walter brought a grittiness to the game and a toughness to the game. And Walter could catch the ball. Walter could block. Walter could do everything. All right. But pure running the ball, Barry Sanders was the best.
Wow.
Do you think there's any chance the Bears can make any moves at the deadline here coming up on Tuesday?
I don't think the Bears have got the imagination. I think they've wasted so much draft capital in their lifetimes that I don't think they can do without a draft choice. And I don't think there's one offensive lineman that can do the trick for this team.
No.
And, that's like having six holes in your boat, and you fix one hole, and you're like, whoa, yeah. Yeah, but what about the other 5 holes?
Right.
You got a problem there. So I don't think there's one move that can make this team better that you'd say, oh, this is going to send them over the top. And it's certainly not going to be with a quality offensive lineman that's going to make a difference, especially when you're down. If Daniels is there, if Whitehair's there, and then you want to make an improvement at one of your tackle positions, okay, I could buy that. But with both of those guys being down, with you having to plug in a bunch of people and you think, okay, now I'm going to – no. You've already been depleted. You're probably playing – if your offensive line was playing at 100% with all the healthy people, you bring these guys in, they're not as good as the guys that were there. You're probably playing at about 80%. And the Bears playing at 100% weren't any good to begin with. Now they're playing at 80%. You think that all of a sudden we're going to have a 150-yard day? Not going to happen.
No. So
not going to happen.
The Bears coming up here, they got a 1, 2, 3, 5, and 6 pick. They traded, obviously, their 4th-round pick to get Nick Foles in here, and then they traded their 7th-round pick to the Raiders and conditioned for Eddie Pinheiro last year. If he played 5 games, it would have been a great move. Yeah, fantastic. Let me tell you. Believe me, I know. Everybody knows Yerk. I mean, I'm so sick of the bullshit mediocrity with this team. I'm not a glass half full type of guy. I'm a glass is where it's at guy.
Yeah.
That's exactly where I'm at. I'm so tired of the bullshit with this Bears team. But they got a 1, 2, 3, 5, and 7 for next year. If you, John Jurkovich, you are now the Bears GM, where do you start? Everything starts up front in my eyes. I'm going O-line, but where do you see the biggest problem to fix right now? I don't want to see a Cole Kmet, a tight end where you didn't excuse my French, where you didn't fucking need one. You didn't need a tight end at 43. You could have picked an immediate right now plug and play offensive lineman in Ezra Cleveland, who's back there behind. And I understand he's sitting behind on Minnesota. You could have had Lloyd Cushenberry, the starting center right now. You could have moved Whitehair to his original position at guard. You would have been better immediately. But instead, they go out and get Cole Kmet, a guy who it took 6 weeks for him to fucking figure out the game of football in Chicago here. So
I'm just trying. I don't know why they don't play Kmet. And I think it's got to do with the contract that they gave Jimmy Graham. I think it's got to do with the fact that Matt Nagy brought in number 86. What is it, Demetrius Harris?
Demetrius Harris, right.
He brought him in. So they brought him in. They said, I'm familiar with him. He's coming in. He's my guy. So what happens is when you're his guy, sometimes you get to play. I saw Cole Kmet make a couple of catches, and I saw him disappear for the rest of the game last week.
Right.
I didn't feature him on the first couple of plays, first series and the second series. Then all of a sudden he doesn't see a football the rest of the day. That I don't get. I call for them to do double moves and stuff. So you asked me first, hold on. What do they need to address? Offensive line, obviously, and quarterback. They still don't have a quarterback. They brought Nick Foles in here. Nick Foles is a little bit better than Mitch Trubisky. That's it. Less mobile Mitch Trubisky, but with a little bit more knowledge of where the football needs to go. But he doesn't have time to get the football where it needs to go because they got no protection. So, offensive line, quarterback. Offensive line, quarterback. And Cleveland, is he the kid from Georgia?
Boise.
Oh, Boise. Okay.
Boise
I
State.
remember there was a big dude down in Georgia. I thought that had a last name of Cleveland too.
Could be. But those are the two guys I was hunting down. I remember you wanted Lloyd Cushenberry, LSU, and then Ezra Cleveland out of Boise State.
You know, the one thing we've been able to do over the course of time is pick up offensive line talent. At least Jerry Angelo could back in the day. He got Reuben Brown in here, and it was 3 years of Reuben Brown, but it was pretty good years of Reuben Brown. He was a solid professional offensive guard. We got Blake Brockmeyer from the Carolina Panthers at the beginning of his career. May have signed another contract, 6th or 7th year. He came in and played tackle for an extended period of time. We got John Tate in here in the offseason as a free agent signing, played offensive tackle for us here. John Tate was a damn good lineman too. So, I mean, you've had guys in success in free agency to upgrade your offensive line. Sometimes a team's got to make a choice. Hey, he's made this much money with us. Now he's going to want that much money. Do we want to pay him that much money? And then they look on their roster and say, well, we've got a less expensive guy that might be a little less than the guy we had, but we'll put him in, give him some experience, and maybe we'll be okay. And we'll take that money and spend it elsewhere. That's how guys end up leaving sometimes. That's what you got to do with your two offense. And Massey was theoretically a guy that came in here like that. Only Massey can't move anymore. When Leonard Floyd's beating up on you with the craziest move I've ever seen, I'm going to jump up in the air, land, touch your hands, and then you're going to stop, and I'm going to go right by you. Hey, what the hell kind of move is that? I watched Reggie White do maybe 5,000 pass rushers. I never saw Reggie do one of them cockamamie moves. He looked like an emu, or an ostrich doing that move. And Bobby Massey goes, and the guy gets a sack. And now everybody, oh, boy, that Leonard Floyd, Chicago let him go. And look how great Leonard Floyd is. Leonard Floyd can't rush the passer. He's not good at it. He can rush the passer if you stun him clean. And he comes around clean, he can get there, but he's not going to overpower an offensive tackle. And if a guy gets up on him on the run, he's going to get pancaked and driven to kingdom come. And ultimately, when they're getting run on the Rams, they'll be running right over his side. And they'll be running right through him, and people will know why he's not who he's supposed to be.
All right, Angela, you got anything else for John here?
Yeah, no. So what do you got?
No, I asked all my questions.
The Moose. What do you got over there?
I got one more for you. When you first hopped on, you mentioned to take the under in the Bears New Orleans game. You got any other good bets you like this week?
That's one. I'm going to go look at covers right now.
Okay.
Which is the website that I look at the spreads and the overs and the unders. Anytime there's an inclement weather game that affects any kicking game whatsoever, I like to play the under. And sometimes you get a big number right away, like 52 or 53. Mm-hmm. And then all of a sudden you see that there's going to be showers or windy conditions or something like that. Now, I always do that. And then I forget that some of these places have domes, or they can close the roof. And there is no inclement weather game. Like, it's going to be cold in Minnesota. It doesn't matter in Minnesota if it's cold game. Just remember that, But no, right now, that's my play, New Orleans. Listen, don't look for 1,000 plays. Look for one big play and bang the living shit out of it.
All right. I got my 13-team parlay going on today.
Coming. Hey, it's coming. Your cousin's going to be released.
I'm hoping. You gotta give that out
soon enough. I said I've been studying all week. Now I'm going to go in. I'm going to finalize my plays.
So I got one more for you here, John. I got one more for you here. And this is kind of like, I want to ask a favor, to be honest with you.
Oh, Lord.
So, a couple months back, I got the shit reamed out of me for wearing that jersey right there, but with the number 4 on it. Brett Favre is my all-time favorite quarterback of all time. Throwing a good word for the fat man. Throwing a good word for Fat Mike. I'd love to have him on the show.
Oh, listen, I try to get him on the show. It's hard enough. I got to wait for him to promote a product or something, whenever he's schlepping a product somewhere. Hey, Yerk, I'd love to come on and love to talk sports, but I'm selling some blue jeans if you don't mind. Sure, Brad, no problem. We can sell some blue jeans for you.
Yerk, man, thanks for coming on with us, man. I really do appreciate it.
All right.
Having you.
I gotta drink more coffee and wake up.
Yeah, I know. I gave you a buzz early. Hey, you up here? You're like, yeah.
Hold on, let me turn the porn off. Hold on, guys.
All right, you watch your porn on your phone or your computer, Yerk?
Phone.
See, there you go.
As I suspected, I was right all along.
See?
Positive messages that keep me going every single day, guys.
Right, that's right.
Yes.
All right.
Thanks,
Jericho, thanks for coming on, brother. I really do appreciate it. We'll talk soon, man. Take care.
Yeah.
All right, guys. John Jurkovich with us, man. That guy's awesome, man. I love Jurko. He really does kick ass. He's such a good dude coming on here with us, hanging out, fucking around. It's good to have his take on this Bears team too, because I'm not the fucking meathead fan, dude. And I'm glad to see that he thinks the same exact way I do. Somebody who's actually played the fucking game for a professional, for a career, he played the game. He knows the game. And he knows where this Bears team is lacking.
I'm not like a meathead. Obviously, like I love the Bears and I never want them to lose. But like I said, man, I think the best thing right now is for them to at least show that they're a flawed team. Because every time, like I said with Jurko, every time they lose a game like they lost on Monday, then they come back and win, and Matt Nagy acts like that big ass kicking that they got was nothing.
I know Jurko believes today that the Bears are going to win this game. We're going to go over our pickems here.
Yeah.
And you know what's funny? I was thinking the same exact thing this morning coming in here. I was out working this morning. The fucking wind was whipping, man. Oh, yeah. I mean, it's nothing out there right now. I'm looking at my trees in the front yard, like right here next to my face here where you see the sun coming in. All right. And the wind was whipping. I was like, shit. I'm like, this game's going to be a tough game. I'm like, it's going to be a tough game here. I'm like, Drew Brees, no Michael Thomas. I'm like, oh, man. But let me tell you something. I still think, and I'm going to say it now. I don't give a shit. I'm giving my pick away now. I'm still taking the Saints in this game. Only because of the fact that New Orleans defense is not terrible. Right. All right, it's not a terrible defense. The Bears offense is that bad. The Bears offense is bad enough to make an average New Orleans Saints defense look like the fucking Bears defense of 85 or the Jets defense of 80 or the Giants defense of 86 or the Pittsburgh Steelers defense or the Baltimore Ravens defense of 01 or Seattle defense of fucking 06. It doesn't matter. Okay.
That's true.
That's how bad this whole line is. That's how, I mean, you could throw, it's sad. It's sad. It's fucking sad when the best offensive line that the Bears got are the ones the defensive line goes up against in the sleds. It's the fucking O-line sled. That's the best O-line that the Bears have right now. Yeah. You're playing backups to backups. You're moving guys out of position, and it's sad. But, I mean, I don't know.
Well, today with the weather, they're not going to be able to throw the ball very effectively. So New Orleans is just going to be able to key in on the run and the screen game, and the Bears aren't going to be able to move the ball one bit. Defense is going to know exactly what's coming the whole game.
Over or under? I'm going to say it right now. Over or under? And you guys in the chat, you guys in our stuff here, you guys can partake on this too. Winner will get a gift card. Let's do it this way to Firehouse Subs. Firehouse Subs. Over under right now. Cordero Patterson 6 touches in this game.
Oh, bro! If they rely on him to have 6 touches, we were doomed.
6 touches total. Catches, runs, doesn't matter. Does that
include kickoff returns also?
No.
Yeah, I was
okay. No. Then I'm going to say under. I'm going to say under.
Ty, how about you?
I'll take under on that too.
I'm taking the fucking over. I'm taking Cordero, whatever the fuck that guy's name is. I don't care. Whatever his name is, he's going to have 7 touches, 8, 9 touches today. I guarantee it. Mark Luke, over. Thank you, Mark Luke. You're on board with me, buddy. All right, I like that guy. He's a good dude. All right, thanks for subscribing too, by the way, buddy. And I'm telling you, man, Jurko, he like I told him, I'm a glass half full. I'm a glass is what it is guy. I'm not glass half full. I'm not glass half empty. I look at it for what it is, and this Bears team's just not good. I don't think the Bears are going to win this game. I think it's going to be a 24-10 game. That's what I see. The same exact outcome as Monday night. 24 New Orleans, 10 out of St. Louis. 10 out of New Orleans. So, and you guys got anything to touch on? Let's touch on it right now. Tarbill taking the over with me too. Justin Wright. Justin Wright's right. Kamara is going to get a lot of touches and passes.
Oh yeah.
Goddamn right he is. He's the best. He's legit right now. I would say the best running back in football right now. Right now, as it sits, Alvin Kamara is the best running back in football this year.
I would say he's playing the most consistent for sure.
Well, I mean,
without a doubt. And he's been healthy. That's the hardest part right now.
Ezekiel Elliott's behind a fucking dumpster fire down there.
Right.
Yeah.
You know,
with no quarterback threat, everybody knows they're going. Why don't we get into our pick'ems so then we can discuss this?
Let's get into our pick'ems. Let's get into our pick'ems. All right, here we go.
All right, so we had the Falcons and the Panthers play Thursday night.
You're splitting up that here.
We had the Falcons and the Panthers. And Mike and I picked the Panthers. You picked Atlanta, so you got that one. The next game on the schedule.
No, I picked Atlanta.
That's what I said.
I think you flipped it backwards there.
Yeah, you fucked that up. I picked Atlanta.
I meant we picked Carolina.
You're already giving me a loss before the week even fucking before.
I just assumed that you lost. It's my fault.
Assume this. Go fist yourself. Assume that. Okay.
All right. So at noon today, we have the Vikings and the Packers. Who do you guys have?
All right.
I'll let you guys go first.
Yeah, you got if you're gonna do it, Angela, you gotta tell.
I said first. Mike.
Oh, Mike. We got the Falcons. We got who? Vikings.
Packers and the Vikings. Yeah.
Packers, Vikings. I'm gonna go with the Green Bay Packers this week. Tyler.
Of course you will.
I got Green Bay as well.
All right.
Not me. I'm going Vikings.
You are out of your goddamn mind.
Nope.
That team is terrible.
Whatever. I don't care. I never picked
you
how many weeks of talking football?
Go ahead.
Do I have to tell you?
No Aaron Jones, by the way, for Green Bay again for the second
he's
year in a row.
That's right. That's the Vikings are going to kill him. All right, we got Titans and Bengals. Tyler, who do you have?
I got Tennessee. This is going to be a sloppy game. There's a lot of sloppy games on this week due to the weather. You got the Bears game. Same thing with the Green Bay, Minnesota game. There's going to be a lot of games where it's just not going to be good football. But, I got Tennessee for this game.
Mike?
I'm going to take Tennessee as well.
Yeah, I'm also on board with Tennessee. As much as I like Joe Burrow, he's just that's a bad team.
I'm telling you, man, I love that kid. I really do. I love
everything
that I've seen. I love everything that I've seen out of Joe Burrow so far this year. I really do. This dude is he's been phenomenal all year.
Yeah,
and it's sad because that you want to talk about a fucking terrible defense.
Yeah,
boy, oh boy, that Cincinnati Bengals defense is downright atrocious. They are fucking hot garbage. I mean, they are garbage, man. I watched that game last week, and it was like, just stop, fucking catch after catch. And then that cornerback to win the game, the Browns are marching down the fucking field. He hits Baker Mayfield, hits Peoples-Jones in a throw that honestly was a beautiful throw by Baker Mayfield to Peoples-Jones to win that game, the go-ahead touchdown. Beautiful throw. But that fucking defensive back, he did nothing to prevent that at all. He just jumped I was like, what are you doing, bro? But anyways,
right. So then the next game, we have the plus 1,400 New York Jets versus the minus 2,500 Kansas City Chiefs. Who do you have, Mike?
See, this one's close for me. This one's real close. Adam Gase is starting to finally figure out that offense. And, don't forget, Frank Gore, the old man that's fucking beaten Father Time before.
Yeah,
but I think it's in a dogfight. In a dogfight, I'm going to take the Kansas City Chiefs in this one.
I can't tell if you're being serious or not because a dogfight and New York Jets against this team.
I'd much rather watch dogfight than watch
100%. 100%.
I'd much rather channel my inner Michael Vick and fucking.
Oh my god.
Too soon. The fucking shit happened 10 years ago.
Tyler, who do you have?
I don't know if you watched the Jets game last week, but the Jets did look better after Adam Gase gave up the play calling duties. I don't think it's still enough. They're going to get blown out. The spread right now is 19.5. Shit should be fucking 27 points at least.
I think Adam Gase needs to buy Jay Cutler a car because that man, the only reason he has a career in the NFL right now is because of how Jay Cutler miraculously looked his first year in Chicago.
Not only that, but where did Gase come from?
He won a Super Bowl with Brady in Denver. That is what gave him his career. He was the offensive
Manning in Denver.
Yeah, Manning. Yeah.
Yeah,
who did I say?
Brady.
Oh yeah, not Brady.
It's all right. It's still, I mean, listen, man, Peyton Manning, that fucking guy never needed an offensive coordinator in his life.
Yeah.
Okay, he was his own offensive coordinator. All right, Adam Gase is fucking. The Madden has better playbooks than that fucking guy did. Like legit.
He's the worst coach in the league.
Playbooks and Adam Gase, any three of us could do a better job than Adam Gase can in New York Jets.
So I picked Kansas City also. I would bet the Jets. I'd throw $10 on the Jets. Why not?
Give me $10.
I could.
Honestly, I could use $10.
I'll pay you out if the Jets win. Send me the $10.
Yeah. All right. So then we got Colts and Lions. This game should be a good game.
This game is a surprising game, honestly. The Colts haven't looked fucking great. They've beaten teams who they're supposed to beat, and that's pretty much it. I mean, like, they look very pedestrian.
Yeah.
They've looked very pedestrian to me all year. The offense T.Y. Hilton hasn't done a goddamn thing. Jonathan Taylor hasn't done much. A guy that I was really looking forward to this year.
He was on fire in the beginning of the year, but
he was great. The first 2-3 games, he was awesome. But I'm telling you, I don't know. This game can go either way. And let me tell you something. Fat Matt, in 2-3 weeks here, 4 weeks, you're going to be looking at at Thanksgiving. That game's gonna matter big time. You watch. Somehow, some way, the Lions are going to be in position to be fighting for a fucking playoff spot.
They do every year.
I mean, honestly,
they just miss.
Fat Matt is possibly the second worst fucking coach in all of football.
Yeah.
Honestly, Fat Matt Patricia, him and his fucking – the guy's wearing a car tarp on the side of the field. I don't know.
Yeah, he's trying to be like that's trying to be like his Belichick sleeveless sweater look.
That's terrible.
It doesn't work.
It looks like he just came out of the jungles of Vietnam.
Oh my gosh.
He's seriously, he's all fucking gross, fat, and it looks like he ate a couple of Vietnamese people before he got out of the rain. Okay, he's coming in there. His fucking his beard is filled with human flesh.
Your beard is weird.
Yeah, his beard is weird. It has chunks of human flesh in it. All right,
I got the Lions. He's
wearing a rain poncho. Like fucking, he should have some eye black and a t-shirt cannon, and he looked the part.
I got the Lions. Didn't they just make a big trade here last week? They brought it. Oh, they did, right? I thought
they brought in Anderson Griffin from.
Yeah. I think that's going to really help. I got the Lions. I think you're right. By the end of the season, it's going to be such a race for this wild card spot with all the teams in the NFC being so close together. But you're right. Detroit always finds a way to stick around for the most part. So I got the Lions. Tyler?
I got Indy.
And Mike?
I am taking Indy as well. I don't know why. I just think Indy, this is a make or break game for them right now. Their division is pretty soft. I'm not counting out the Titans. They are a very good team, but I'm taking Indy.
So a game that I'm really looking forward to, Steelers and Ravens. I think this game is going to be great.
I'm looking forward to this game.
Right. It's. I think it's just going to be a fun game to watch. Defense, offense. I think you're going to get everything. Mike, who do you think is going to pull ahead in this one?
This game tugs at my heartstrings, but I'm going to go with the Pittsburgh Steelers in this game for one reason. I think the Pittsburgh Steelers have a better defense.
Yeah,
have a better rushing defense, and I know Mark Ingram is out in this game. Correct? He's out. Yeah. So you're going to be doing it with a kind of mixed backfield there. You got J.K. Dobbins and you got Gus Edwards out there. They're going to be running the ball today. Gus Bus is going to be running the ball, but I'm taking the Pittsburgh Steelers just because of the offensive weaponry and the better defense that they have. I think Pittsburgh pulls out. Their pull-out game should be strong today, and I think they pull this win out.
Ty?
I got Baltimore. They're coming off a bye here. They're at home. I think I saw Harbaugh the last 2 times coming off the bye and at home. They've won both games, so I'm going to keep rolling with that.
I am going to go with Mike. I think Pittsburgh, as sloppy as some of their games have looked, they always find a way to win. I love that franchise. They're just the epitome of consistency, always. Even when you get divas like Antonio Brown and Le'Veon Bell, they miss
Plaxico Burress.
Right, they miss a step, but then they rebound so quickly. I just think the Steelers are going to make it to the AFC Championship game, but they'll end up losing to the Chiefs. But I think they're on the right track to being a force the whole season.
Yeah, that Pittsburgh team is very good, man.
They're the best all-around team in the league right now.
Yeah,
yes, that's the reason why. That's another reason. Like Tyler just said, they're the best all-around team in football, and I think Mike Tomlin is just a fucking great head coach, man.
Yep. Oh,
he gets a lot of slack. And Pittsburgh, they were fucking awful last year, and still somehow Big Ben out all year. Juju Smith-Schuster pretty much garbage all year last year.
Yep.
He was out for a time period too as well. And still somehow managed to win fucking 7 games with 2 backup quarterbacks. That blows my goddamn mind. I mean, absolutely blows my mind. Now
that is coaching. I mean, that's what separates a great coach from just your average coach. Is somebody who, we talked about it with the Bears. Put your guys in a position to be successful. What do they do well? Do it. It's that simple. Next game. Go ahead.
Last year, when the Pittsburgh Steelers scored more than 11 points, the record was 8-3 on the year.
That's ridiculous. So what did they finish? They finished 8-8.
They finished 8-8 when they scored more than 11 points in the game.
Yeah, and dude, they played 3. They played, I think, at one point. Who, Tyler? You got it pulled up in front of you. Who all quarterbacked for the Pittsburgh Steelers last year? Mason Rudolph, the red-nosed reindeer, and Devlin Duck Hodges. That was their 2 fucking quarterbacks. And they go 8-8. That blows my fucking mind. That blows my mind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh God. Anyways,
next
game.
Fucking Bears, dude.
Rams and Dolphins.
That just pisses me off even more. Daryl Hodges and fucking the other shit stain should be washing cars in fucking Berwyn. They're playing football, going 8-8. When Mitch Trubisky and Nick Foles couldn't hit fucking their old hanging ball bag with their fucking wrinkly dick.
Rams and Dolphins. Tyler.
I got Rams.
Mike.
I'm flustered and I'm pissed off. What's the game? Rams. I'm taking the Rams. Fucking.
All right, I'm going to take the Rams as well. Next game we have Patriots and Bills. This should be a pretty simple pick. Mike.
This game is a lot tougher than what you think, man. I'm not happy about this game. The Buffalo Bills did not look great in any aspect of the games last week against the Jets. They did not look good last week. And fucking the Patriots looked like dog shit too. They got fucking trounced by San Fran 33-6. And San Fran is dealing with I think they just pulled a guy underneath the San Francisco Viaduct to run the fucking ball for them this week, and they still whooped their ass.
Yeah.
In this game, I am going to go. Come back to me, Tyler. Go ahead.
I got Buffalo. This is another one of those games that the weather is going to affect. This is going to be a sloppy game.
Yeah, I got Buffalo also. I just don't think the Patriots are a good team right now. That's simple as that.
Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna go with it too, man. I'm gonna take Buffalo.
All right. So
I don't like it though. I honestly think that's a game that we could all lose this week.
I think so too. Raiders and Browns.
It's a good game.
Another sloppy game.
Yeah, I think the Browns are so hard to predict. One week they look like shit. The next week they come out and throw 40 points up. Right. I'm gonna take the Raiders in this game. It's just so hard to figure out what Browns team you're gonna get.
Right. Tyler.
I got Cleveland. Like I said, this is going to be another one of those sloppy games. I just think they run it down their throat with Kareem Hunt all day.
Yeah, I'm taking Cleveland in this game too. I don't think it's too hard. I do like I love the fact that the Browns and Odell Beckham is hurt. I like that. Okay, Listen, I like Odell Beckham, but I think Baker Mayfield sees more of the field without him on the field. So
I agree.
That's why I'm taking the Browns in this game, and I'm definitely taking the Browns.
Broncos and Chargers, Mike.
I'm taking the Chargers in this one. I don't like the Broncos in any game. I think Justin Herbert throws all over this defense. It's a bad team.
Tyler?
I got the Chargers. Denver this week, they're missing an offensive lineman due to COVID, and they had 2 more offensive linemen that were on the COVID list all week, so they had limited practice. Same thing I targeted last week with the Bucks versus Vegas because of the offensive line issues due to COVID. I'm doing the same thing this week. I think the Chargers stomp them.
Yeah, I got the Chargers also. Justin Herbert is just – he's going to be also – I think he's going to be good for a long time. He just looks the part. I'm glad I picked him up in my fantasy league. 49ers and Seahawks. I am going to take the Seahawks. I think they bounce back after a letdown on Sunday night. Tyler?
I got Seattle as well. I just think there's too many injuries on San Francisco for them to pull this out.
Yeah, I'm taking Seattle too. I think it's a complete team this week.
Yeah.
I think this is the turning point that Seattle can maybe start playing a little bit of defense now. I really think it's a turning point for this team. An interdivision game. It's going to be a good game, but I'm taking
Seattle. Love that team. I love this Seattle team. If they could stop people, this team would be insane.
Yeah,
Russell Wilson is just sick.
They haven't been able to stop a nosebleed, though, this year.
Right.
They've been rough.
They do have a lot more offensive weapons than they usually have, with DJ Metcalf and Lockett.
DK Metcalf.
What did I say? DK, that's what I said.
You said
whatever.
DJ.
My bad. Misspoke. All right, the Sunday night game, Cowboys and Eagles. Can you really pick the Cowboys in any game this year going forward? Like, I know my buddy Justin's watching the stream, right now, but I don't think in good conscience you could pick the Cowboys in any of these games.
Dude, so Dallas this year on the season is 0-7 against the spread.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If they lose this week against the spread, they're tied for the worst. Nobody's ever went 0-9.
Now, I know this is a big game because that division is just so bad that the Cowboys, if they win, they're still in the mix. I still think the Eagles are gonna win this game.
Yeah, I think this is a no-brainer. I think the Eagles definitely win this game. The Cowboys are on their third-string quarterback.
Yep.
Andy Dalton is out with a concussion. His brains got scrambled, but last week, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, by John Bostic.
Yeah, John Bostic, that dirty fuck.
Dude, what an ugly hit, man.
John Bostic, he's a fucking schlub. That's how he made his name. He was dog shit in college, and he's dog shit as a pro.
And we wasted a pick on him.
Yeah, no shit.
Wasn't he a number one? Wasn't he a first-round pick for the Bears?
I don't think so.
I'm pretty sure. I'm going to look that up. But Tyler, who do you have?
That offensive line didn't do a goddamn thing.
Yeah, they just watched him get fucking smoked. We were talking about that on the Fat Mike show. They're just like, fucking it happens. Andy's head is still in his helmet, fucking in the end zone. And Andy Dalton's body's at the 15,
Yeah. He was a second-round pick by the Bears.
Yeah. All right.
I got Philadelphia.
All right. Now, in a game that I think is going to be just a terrible watch Monday night, 2 back-to-back shit games, the Buccaneers and the Giants. I think we're all in agreement on Tampa Bay.
Watch fucking the Giants win somehow, some way, and fuck my parlay up.
Yeah, I was just going to say.
Honestly, watch it. It's not going to happen just because I hate that fucking team and I hate everything New York. Watch all 3 New York teams win this week in fucking glorious fashion.
Now, we're all in agreement that the Bucs are going to win, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Now, we always save the Bears game for last.
Yep.
Bears and Saints. Mike?
I'm taking the Saints. I'm definitely taking the Saints today. I think the offensive weapon is that the Saints are lacking and still have while lacking is enough to put the Bears on their toes. I think last week was a blueprint game from what the Rams did to the Bears defense last week. And I think Sean Payton exploits that again this week with the lesser weapons that he has with no Michael Thomas. And there's another wide receiver that's out this week.
Emmanuel Sanders.
Emmanuel Sanders. Emmanuel Sanders is out as well. So, but I think the Saints win 24-17 is what I'm saying.
24-17. That's interesting. Tyler?
I have New Orleans in the game. It's getting sloppy game due to the weather.
I'll tell you this: if the Bears put up 17 points, they're going to win this game. So I'm going to take Chicago, and I'm going to take that's exactly what it is. I got Chicago. I've told you guys every week I never pick against them. I don't care what happens, but I think the Bears defense is better than the Saints offense. I do think the Saints defense is better than the Bears offense too. But I think I'm expecting a defensive touchdown from the Bears today.
Bears win 72-10.
No. I'm realistic. I think the Bears will win 19-17. That's what I think the score is going to be. 19-17. And then we're still with all these bullshit questions on if the offense is going to do anything. Even though we all know the
offensive line stopped somebody. They didn't get blown over at Soldier Field. The high winds. I'm surprised.
Yeah. Oh, man. Okay, so that's the pick'ems, right?
Yes,
That's
it
the
is.
pick'ems.
What do we have left? We have just the grand prize winner. Oh no, Tyler, got any fantasy nuggets real quick?
Yeah, we got the fantasy.
Yeah,
nuggets.
I got a couple guys at each position under 50% rostered, so I'll go through those right now.
Yeah.
QB, I got Derek Carr, Baker Mayfield. Those I think those are really desperation plays because I don't like the weather in that game. I don't think they're going to be able to throw the ball very much, but those are absolute desperation plays. And then the other guy I got is Jimmy G going up against that Seattle defense. Can't stop anybody, give up the most yards in the league to the wide receiver position. Wide receiver here, I got Traquan Smith for the Saints against the Bears. Jalen Reagor, he's active today. They play tonight. He's active. This is his first time playing in about 4 weeks. He's coming off the IR. And then Denzel Mims also making his career debut today for the Jets against the Chiefs. Running back, I got Tevin Coleman. He is active today. DJ Dallas, if Chris Carson sits, we won't know until game time. He's a 50-50 decision. Gus Edwards, because Mark Ingram is out, and Wayne Gallman, because Devontae Freeman is also out. And then tight end, I got Trey Burton and Dalton Schultz. Dalton Schultz is an absolute dart throw. I don't like that play, but if you're desperate, you got to do what you got to do. But I do like Trey Burton as a play this week.
Ugh.
All right.
That would make sense because the Bears got rid of him, so it makes sense that he'd shine.
His last 2 games he's played since he's been active from IR, he's received 6 targets in each game. So if you're streaming a tight end, he's getting the targets that are needed to be a useful fantasy option.
Right.
I'm ready for a nap, guys. I'm ready for a nap.
So that's it, right? Is that you got any other bets or anything you want to talk about?
Yeah, I got a couple bets here. So I got Le'Veon Bell over 39.5 rushing yards. It's his revenge game, man. I got in right when they dropped the line. It was at 35.5, but it's been bet up to 39.5 now. I think that's a nice bet all the way up until 45. He's going to absolutely destroy that team just to rub it in Adam Gase's face. Another one I got, Green Bay -6 against the Vikings. The Chargers -3.5 against the Broncos, like I was talking about earlier about the COVID on the Broncos offensive line. I did the same thing last week and targeted offensive lines due to COVID, and it hit, so I'm going to keep rolling with it. And then my last one is Kansas City -19.5 over the Jets. I think that line should be around 27.
All right.
All right. Now comes the big grand prize.
The grand prize.
Grand prize. And here we go. I'm going to do it. But really first, guys, I want to tell you guys something. Make sure you guys are going and following us and liking and subscribing to the YouTube channel here. Make sure you guys get your asses over to superiorembroidery.net/Fat Mike. Get yourselves your sport court shirt. Get yourself the Tyler DeMouse fantasy shirt. Get yourself the Fat Mike Jordan shirt. Carbill, if you're still listening, man, I thought you were going to send me a photo of you in the Fat Mike shirt, man. Come on, what the fuck's going on here? You're wasting my time. Wasting my time, bro. Wasting my time. You told me you were going to, and you're a liar. So, no, go fist yourself. So here we go. The grand prize winner here. Here we go.
Let's go.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
My drum roll.
Hey, Tarbill just responded in the chat. He said he's got to.
Yeah, my ass. All right, here we go. Here we go. Shaking it up, shaking it up.
Let's see.
I hope nobody re-wins. Let me see.
Yeah. It'd be nice to have 3 different winners.
Right. All right, here we go. You guys ready?
A lot of people that bought in, so hopefully.
For first place is any jersey, any sport, any size. Doesn't matter. It's going to be a kick-ass jersey.
Yep.
And, oh, shit. Here we go. Here we go. Oh, you guys ready?
Yep.
Let someone do a drum roll. Come on. You ready?
I don't know.
All right, you guys are fucking garbage. Anyways, it's Kyle Razzo. My dude Kyle Razzo out here out in Bridgeview. Kyle Razzo, make sure let me know what jersey you want, man, and make sure when we send it to you, you take a picture of it and say thanks, Fat Mike.
Yeah,
thank
everybody. Everybody, when you get your prize, do us a favor, snap a picture with it, put it on put it on Twitter. Make sure you tag 1252, Fat Mike, the Mouse, me at Sport Court. Get us all there so we can show everybody that, hey, check this out. This raffle went well.
So who were the winners? Because I threw away the tickets. We had Tarbill.
Yeah, we had Tarbill.
Tarbill got third.
Your dude Mark got second.
Mark Justice.
And then
Kyle Razzo, the guy who actually found us on, surprisingly, he found us on YouTube. And he's right down the road from me, like not too long.
Nice.
Yeah. He's like maybe half an hour, 40 minutes away. So that's cool. All right. So yeah, guys, that's it, man. That's the show. We went through our pick'ems. We went through everything like that. Thank you to Jurko for coming on here. Thank you for everybody who entered the raffle. We will be doing one again sometime in the near future. We'll do another one. Congrats to all you winners. And that's awesome, man.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Thank you guys for participating.
Yeah, for sure.
It was cool to see everybody, buy into the concept. We appreciate you guys listening. It helps us enjoy doing this. You know what I mean?
Here we go. I'm gonna take out 4 more tickets. You guys ready?
What?
I'm gonna give away some gift cards, bro.
Oh, okay.
Some Firehouse Sub gift card dudes.
All right. Hey,
just to be a nice guy.
That's right.
You know what? I don't know. Here we go. I took out, I don't know how many tickets. I got 1, 2, 3, 4. I got 5 tickets. So there's gonna be
now,
5
if somebody
tickets.
wins a duplicate of this, they don't get a duplicate.
Yeah. Okay. So we got Sherry Barrios.
Oh, nice.
Winning a $20 gift card. We got
$20 Firehouse.
We got J.R. James winning a Firehouse gift card. We got Lisa Taylor winning a $20 gift card. We got this actually worked up really good. Reed Jensen.
Nice.
We got 5 different winners.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Send me your stuff. And we got Kevin A.
Okay, cool. Kevin, the guy. I know.
5 different winners. You guys are gonna get a $20 gift card for Firehouse Subs.
You want to run down that again and make sure.
All right. So Sherry Barrios, Reed Jensen, Kevin A, Lisa Taylor, and J.R. James.
All right.
You guys are gonna send us your info. Get one of us your info.
Yeah, whoever get a hold of us.
Yeah, I have the tickets. All right, I have the gift cards. I will send it out in the mail as soon as I have everybody's info. Or as soon as I get your info, I'll send it out. So, all right, guys. Hell yeah. That's cool.
Yeah.
Give away some other free shit. Awesome. Congratulations to all the winners. Have a good day of football, guys. The megalanoma told me what she's making for food. So, but yeah, I'm excited. The megalodon.
Yeah, I like that one better.
What?
I like the megalodon better.
Oh, I like the megalanoma one. That's funny. She doesn't like that one though.
Yeah. All right. Have a good Sunday, everybody. We'll see you. Tune in Wednesday for the Fat Mike Show. I got a new Sport Court episode dropping Monday.
Yes.
And,
with our guy Salim, man.
Yeah, Salim was on with me talking some bulls.
Real quick, talking some bulls. I'm excited to hear it. I'm excited to listen to it.
Yep. So it'll be out on Monday.
All right, guys. On that note, we are done. Enjoy your Week 8 football. Hopefully the Bears pull out a win. Hopefully I'm wrong. But you guys enjoy. And we will see you guys next week for Talking Football. We will see you guys Wednesday night live for the Fat Mike Chicago Sports Show. You guys take care. Have a good one.